Palma. Oh,
man.
that's unfair, and Palma 7 points in the game.
To Del Cuestes.
Oh, wow.
Delgado makes the shot and knocks it down. Malonia is open. 3-pointer.
Goodness!
Face a jumper by Robin Celis.
Nathaniel has time.
Just posterized by Scott.
MPBL All-Star na.
MPBL All-Star na.
MPBL All-Star na.
MPBL All-Star na. Abangan ang inyong mga MPBL Idols ngayong September 6 sa Binyan, Laguna. See you there mga kaliga.
Two of the best teams in the Southern Division that are playing well and peaking at the right time meet here at the Fuel Oil Center in San Juan for the second game of our Friday triple header dito sa Liga ng Bawat Pilipino. This is the 7th season of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Larry Rodriguez with 1.9 seconds remaining hit the game winner for Gensan in that game against Zamboanga, while Levy Hernandez has been playing his best MPBL season so far. It's going to be an exciting one between two Southern Division powerhouses in the Gensan Warriors and the Batangas City Tanduay Rum Masters. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat mga kaliga. This is Javi Palanya on the call, joined by Coach Mike Perez. Coach Mike, this is going to be an explosive battle, a blockbuster matchup between Gensan and Batangas. Coach, for all their similarities, what sets them apart?
I think what sets them apart is the way that they play. A lot of pace dito sa side ng Gensan Warriors. More methodical naman on the half-court set. But they are trying to improve on the fast break side itong Batangas Rum Masters.
We're gonna be talking more about that in detail later on. Mapapanood nyo ang Liga ng Bawat Pilipino on our YouTube channel as well as on Solar Sports every Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays beginning at 6 o'clock p.m. Pati na rin sa Pusa P and Smart Sports. Let's bring in the third member of our broadcast panel. At courtside, we have Miss Mika Abisamis. Mika, good evening to you. Kamusta ang ating parehong koponan?
Good evening, Javi, Coach Mike. Ito si Coach Elvis Tolentino, obviously on a high, no? After that 1-point win against Zamboanga. Tapos bigla daw niyang na-realize, naku, Batangas pala ang susunod na kalaban namin. Ang team na tumalo sa kanila in the second round of the playoffs last season. At team na marami nang napagsamahan na panalo at talo. Kaya sabi niya, very seasoned sila sa pagharap nila sa amin ngayong araw to. Kaya dapat talaga ready kami. Pero para naman dito kay Coach Cholo Villanueva, no, he is aware that if they lose this game, they will drop to number 4. He has to do everything it takes. Ano? Sabi niya, at alam naman natin itong si Coach Elvis, talagang itong season na to, napakaganda ng kanyang lineup. To the point na makikita mo si Larry Rodriguez na nakangiti sa isang game. Javi and Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mika. That is a very rare occurrence. Larry Rodriguez smiling in a game. Well, he had a lot to smile about sa kanilang huling laro, and that is also because of the strong play of Mark Cruz, isa sa mga gwardiya ng Gensan Warriors. Mark Cruz has been shooting the lights out in his return from an injury early in the season, shooting from the outside, putting the ball on the deck, and hitting big shots even inside.
Yeah, what you like about Mark Cruz is, you know, yung ganda ng performance niya on the shooting side. He was 4 out of 4 from 3, getting 16 points in that game, 14 of them coming in the second quarter. And, you know, the minutes that he's played has really told on, you know, some momentum shift favorable para dito sa Gensan Warriors in that game.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Batangas has brought in a reinforcement, especially in the middle of the paint where they have been virtually lacking, especially after the absence, or rather the loss of Chris Porter to the PBA, and that is in the person of CJ Lane, who finally had a breakout performance in his second game against the Manila Batang Quiapo.
Ano, tama ka doon. After a quiet debut performance for Batangas that saw him just score 3 points and a 1 of 4 shooting over 7 minutes against Marikina, he had a better showing in this game. Matter of fact, siya yung best player of the game. 15 points, 13 of them in the second half, 53% from the field, 6 rebounds, 2 assists in 19 minutes of play. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be showing up today in this game, but indeed a very good contribution from CJ Lane in that win over Manila.
Well, that's going to be leaving a gaping hole para sa Batangas City Tanduay Rum Masters, especially because he was brought in for that sole reason of protecting the middle and making sure that interior is tight and well kept for the Rum Masters. Tingnan natin ang ating team comparison between these two squads, Gensan and Batangas City. I mentioned earlier, Coach, for all their similarities, they also have a lot of differences.
Yeah, a lot of differences. Well, similar pagdating sa rebounds, assists, and second chance points. But really, it's offense versus defense right now. Offense really more high octane on the side of Gensan Warriors. You do know what they can do from beyond the arc. But man, when you talk about defense, 5th best in this season so far in Batangas, allowing only 70.8 points in a game. And mind you, they don't have a really good rim protector itong Batangas, and so really just speaks to the commitment on the defense of the Rum Masters.
Well, di na natin patatagalin pa mga kaliga. It's gonna be Gensan versus Batangas for our second game. Let's go to Miguel Perez.
The Playtime Field Center in San Juan City. Welcome to our second game between Gensan and Batangas. Live on the 2025 Manny Pacquiao MPBL Season 7. Let's meet the starters. First, for Gensan Warriors. Starting at guard, number 8, Ping Masaglang. Center, number 5, Larry Rodriguez. Forward, number 15, Flex Aprecu. Also at forward, number 7, Kyle Tolentino. And the other guard, number 4, Nico Flash Elorde. The head coach for Gensan is Councilor Elvis Tolentino. Assistant coaches Boying Diloy, Rizal Castro, Apple Coronado, Peter Deligero, Emmanuel Tolentino, and Ray Javier. Team consultant is Noy Pido. Team manager Merman Flores. Team owner is Councilor Michael Pacquiao. And now the starters for the MPBL inaugural season champions, Batangas City, Tanduay Rum Masters. Starting at forward, number 27, the KING to the VIP, King Importante. Also at forward, number 15, Don Ochea. Playing center, number 26, John Ambuludto. One guard, number 25, Philip Panyamogan. And a two guard, number 22, Disciper de Mexico, Levi Hernandez. The head coach for Batangas City is Cholo Villanueva. Assistant coaches, Seor Aquino, Warren Capitan, Jan Arenas, and Dino Enrile. Assistant team manager, Gilbert Alea. Team manager, Gina Labanza. LJU partner, Mayor Marvin Marino. Team owner, Lucio Tan III.
Let's meet our primary protagonists. Our starting five brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory, few more game with 1xBet. Gensan begins things with Nico Elorde and Ping Masaglang, joined by Larry Rodriguez, Felix Aprecu, and Cal Tolentino in the front court. Sa kabila naman, it's Philip Panyamogan, Levi Hernandez, John Ambuluto, Don Ochea, and the KING to the VIP, King Importante. Di ko alam saan nila nakuha yan eh. Pero pareho sila ni Richard, sinasabi nila yan.
I like that.
Good evening once again mga kalinga. We welcome you to the second game of our Friday triple header dito sa Liga ng Bawat Pilipino. This is the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Happy Pananya, joined by Coach Mike Perez and Miss Mika Abisamis. Gensan turns the ball over right away, and Batangas will have the opportunity to have the first possession of this game.
Well, 24th start para sa dito kay Carl Tolentino out of 25 games that he's played, and he's been one of the consistent starters for the Gensan Warriors. But unfortunately, yung unang possession nila, turnover kagad. Very unlikely for a Gensan Warriors start.
Two teams not tweaking their starting lineups for this game, going with the same starting unit from their last matches. That's a foul laban kay Don Ochea.
Tsaka napaka-importante nitong laban na ito, Javi. This could have playoff implications, especially win over the other, kasi dikit itong dalawang ito. Katulad nga ng sinabi kanina. I understand that their paths will eventually cross and converge come the playoffs.
And this is a big game considering also because Rizal won earlier against Marikina. So that definitely had some impact as well on the team standings, especially because kakadikit yung tatlong yan eh.
Yes.
Rizal, Gensan, and Batangas.
Yes, right now Rizal is what? After that win, 15-8, and they got 6 more games remaining. Matalang itong Batangas is 16-8 and 15-9 naman for the Gensan at this game.
So, Ambuluto just below the free throw line over the outstretched arm of Larry Rodriguez.
That really is challenging, in my opinion. The defense of Larry Rodriguez on the nail. And so long as John Amboluto keeps getting open, he will continue to take those shots from there.
Very important that he hits those jumpers. But Gensan might be comfortable in allowing John Amboluto to shoot those short stabs. Not really much of his specialty.
Yeah, that's a good point, Javi. That is indeed one aspect that they can look into. You allow people to take shots in areas which you feel they're not so good at making those attempts.
Levy wants to go to King Importante but heavily denied by Larry Rodriguez. Sniper de Mexico goes to the post. Back against
Wow.
the wall. That's Ping Masaglang. Panyamogan, who is part of our three-point shootout on Saturday, misses from the left wing.
We talked about defense, but that was a good stand by the Gensan Warriors. That was a half-court set that they stopped.
Although both these teams have the ability to shoot the lights out, do you expect this to be a low-scoring game, Coach, considering the quality of defense both teams play?
Now, if this is going to be a low-scoring game, I feel this is going to benefit more Batangas than it is Gensan Warriors, because Gensan, for the most part, when they win, they actually score 89 points. So that's really the benchmark. Samantalang itong Batangas, when they win, roughly about 85 points per game. So a slight advantage maybe, but I feel so long as the defense sets in and limits the scoring opportunities para dito sa Gensan Warriors, it will do well for the Batangas from Masters.
Gensan finally gets on the board courtesy of Larry Rodriguez, who only had 6 points in that game against Zamboanga, but none more important than that three-pointer that he hit with 1.9 seconds remaining. Amboluto tries to go to work once again, but way short on that hook shot. Tolentino against Amboluto, he has the foot speed advantage, takes it inside and draws the foul on John.
I feel today Kyle Tolentino's got to have that mindset of scoring. He was 0 out of 9, believe it or not, in that game against Zamboanga. He pretty much struggled from the field. Overall, he shot only 12.5%, going 2 out of 16. Even in the perimeter, 2 out of 7 lang siya. So talagang it was a complete struggle for Kyle Tolentino.
Only shooting 69.1% from the free throw line too this season, although his numbers in terms of scoring have definitely gone up. And we're witnessing a better version of Kyle Tolentino in terms of decision making and shot selection.
No, without a doubt. And which is why he's an all-star.
He will start for the South on All-Star Day this Saturday. That's going to be September 6 at the Alonte Sports Arena. There you see Coach Cholo Villanueva, whose team is trying to hold on to the number 3 seed in the Southern Division.
And of course, definitely one of the brightest minds in coaching here in the MPBL.
I certainly agree, no doubt about it. I could even say one of the brightest young minds in the whole country.
Agree.
Larry Rodriguez backing up against Amboluto. Swift passing here shown by the Warriors, but it's picked off by Batangas. 3-on-2. Panyamogan decides to launch from the outside. That's no good. Ochea saves it to the wrong guy. Elorde pushing it into their front court. Tolentino gives it up. Rodriguez loses it. Apreku could not handle it. Batangas naman ngayon natatakbo. Hernandez forces it up and in.
Not an easy finish at all for Levy Hernandez. Up to that point, I felt he was indecisive whether to pass or get off that shot, but at the last second he had to make a decision, and thankfully that shot went glass and found the bottom of the net.
Elorde passes it off. Rodriguez, just from the same spot he hit it against Zamboanga. That's a 3-point shot for Larry Rodriguez, tying things up at 6.
Which is exactly why I love that play that they set up. Because in my opinion, that is the best spot for a 3 attempt para kay Larry Rodriguez.
Yeah, that top of the circle certainly is very lethal from that area. Just like this guy, he has been lethal. If you're going to talk about that word lethal, he has been very lethal for Batangas this year.
Definitely. And Batangas goes pretty much where that scoring takes him.
Rodriguez decides to put the ball on the deck. Ping Masaglang, that is specialty of the house. However, it fails to drop there for the Gensan Warriors.
Gonna rise up.
Hernandez, hand in the face, that's off to the left.
he will-
Elorde picks it up.
And he will pretty much rise up. You can see it in his handles.
Tolentino, siya naman ang susubok. This time, it will go down the drain. Tolentino finally getting a 3-point shot off after going 0 out of 9 sa kanilang huling laro.
And getting rid of that big white elephant inside this game. He was thinking, where am I gonna make my first 3-point attempt after going all out of 9?
Offensive foul laban sa Batangas. Let's take a look at our 3-point shot of the game, brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. 2 threes inside the last minute for the Gensan Warriors. This one's courtesy of Kyle Tolentino. Earlier, we saw Larry Rodriguez hit it from top of the circle.
I love Levy Hernandez, but I felt that was a lazy contest by Levy. Maybe on his mind, well, you haven't made a shot in 9 attempts since the last game, and so you gotta test that.
Gensan with a rock. That's Elorde from downtown. That misses. Panyamogan gets ahead of Liu. Tolentino is there to stop him in his tracks, pero matatawagan siya for a personal foul.
We've always talked about the offense of the Gensan Warriors, but so far, you see 4 white shirts down on the other end trying to defend against the open transition by the Batangas Rum Masters. And if you're Coach Elvis, you're loving it.
The offense has been given, but after that long losing streak that they had start of the season, Coach, when they finally started winning a string of ball games, what did you think was the difference maker para sa kanila?
I felt that the difference-making part there was really their 3-point shot making. They've been better at it. They controlled the ball so much better. They were close to about 15 turnovers per game leading up to that game against Ilagan where they won.
This is our assist of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. They have been going to that setup numerous times this season.
Pretty much. And so long as those schemes have been working for your team, you know, why not continue to go at it?
And that's definitely an advantage that they've been loving to exploit, because Levy is such a terrific post player.
Agree.
And now, Joel Liu has that unenviable task of trying to slow down Sniper de Mexico. It ends up with a foul against Gensan. Not a lot of people have had the success in slowing down Levy this season.
O kasi alam niya kung ano yung magiging point of attack niya. He pretty much in itself is already an offensive system. I mean, you get the ball on his hands right down the perimeter, especially when he was a dribble or a couple dribbles away from his favorite spot. He pretty much is a threat.
And he just continues to age like fine wine, as you see CJ Lane there in street clothes on the Batangas bench after being named player of the game sa kanilang huling laro against the Manila Batang Quiapo. He sits out this one. I think Mika will have an update for us later on kung bakit wala si CJ sa laro na to. That's definitely going to be something that Gensan will try to expose sa laro na to.
Oh no, another shot by Kyle. Oh,
At rims out.
Yeah.
But having mentioned that CJ Lane is also out for Batangas, yan rin naman ang nagkukulang dito sa Gensan, yung tao sa gitna.
Agree. At saka yung, they pretty much have been, you know, we'll just get more attempts as we can. As many attempts every time. The first open look that we have, we will take it. You see right there that move by Joel Liu.
Hernandez bumps into Bringas, who holds his ground. Mark Cruz is there to clean up the mess.
There have been a lot of guys on the Batangas Rum Masters that have done that, staying the course. Guys like Mark Cruz and Don Ochea. Matter of fact, you can even say Jexter Pinan.
And that is the kind of basketball that Coach Cholo has been preaching this whole time he has been with Batangas. Is to play that kind of team basketball, to always be there for your teammates and just do the right things. Pretty much bene omnia fecit, do all things well.
Yes. Pretty much yung character ng dalawang coaches. I mean, you know, polar opposites itong dalawang ito. Coach Cholo Villanueva, pretty much that calm and collected coach that you would normally see on the bench. Samantalang itong si Coach Elvis naman, you know how much passion he's got for the game, and you definitely see that in his plays and in his players.
I will not fight you on that, Coach. These two coaches definitely are also a matchup in themselves.
Oh, agree.
Aside from the players that they have, the chess match between two of the best coaches here in the MPBL, certainly one to watch sa laro na to.
But Coach Cholo did not like that last call. He felt that, you know, it could have been seen differently, but Mark Cruz, the smaller Mark Cruz, because we got a couple here. The other one wearing number 24 and the other one wearing number 9, is it?
We'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Cruz goes 2 for 2. Gensan is within 3 points, 14-11. Batangas, matagal na silang penalty dito.
Napupuwersa kasi talagang dumipensa, lalo na when they get into open floor. Gensan really playing with a lot of pace, and it puts a lot of pressure on the defensive, on the transition defense for the Ramasters.
Seda Blaza, Onila Rim, Jong Baloria, MJ De La Virgen are all in the game right now for Batangas. Bringas able to save it there for Gensan. Tonton gets it back, gives it up to Liu. Still a lot of time on their 24. Under 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. Liu loses it.
There you go.
Acuña has to take it. That's off to the left.
Kanina pa niya inaantay yun eh.
Joel Liu will have 3 of his own from the right flank.
I know you've questioned a lot the three-point shooting of Joel Liu, but man, the guy is shooting 35% this season from 3.
I couldn't even remember that he could shoot more than 20% with it. I'm just joking. I'm just really happy right now that I'm seeing this kind of shooting from my former teammate. As Seda Blaza shows his touch.
That's the first three-point make para dito sa Batangas Masters after 4 tries. Really, a bunch of their attempts have really come from the perimeter. Seda Blaza did not like that foul, especially as he just came off a made 3.
And those are the things that are actually more of the identity of both of these teams. That three-point shooting of theirs, both teams like to shoot from the outside.
Yes. Well, speaking of yung last call na yun, I thought from our vantage point there really wasn't so much, as you see.
Coach Alex,
Coach Alex, yeah.
Is that Jackson Corpus?
Yes.
Sitting side by side with someone head coach Alex Angeles. Happy to have him here in the venue at the Phil Oil Center in San Juan. The Knights will be taking on the Binienta Takchel later on in our main game at 8 o'clock p.m. That should also be a good one. Earlier we had Rizal conquering the Marikina Shoemasters in a battle of 2 neighboring squads. 17-14, Ablaza has it against Gonzalez. That's going to be a foul against Gensan. Bringas acknowledges it right away.
Oh, I thought is that going to be on Onila rim?
What's the call going to be?
They got to figure this out. They got to figure this out. That was a good curl by, was that Don Ochea earlier? That was a good curl. Oh, Mark Cruz rather. After that pinch post action by Seda Blas, Sed was holding that ball, waiting for that curl completion by Mark Cruz. Oh, a lot of confusion right now.
Well, our officiating crew, led by crew chief Seb Pingol, will try to resolve things here on the sideline. Coach Cholo Villanueva is on the floor. He is not a happy man. There you go. That's a final call. Referee Michael Kinay has said that it is going to be a foul against... Well, let's take a look
See
at
that
it
right
first.
here. There's that curl.
Ayun, it is going to be a foul against Bringas.
Yeah, that's definitely on Bringas. And the reason that Coach Cholo reacted because he set that screen right.
At syempre meron naman talagang pagtama dun sa screen na yun. Galing kay Tonton Bringas. Baloria matched up against a fellow lefty in Joel Liu. Cruz, that's travel. Clearly.
Pretty much a travel.
That really is very tricky when you catch it with 1 foot and you try to go the other way.
You jab one side, you can't go to that side.
Yeah.
You gotta cross the other way because you're gonna lift your leg before that ball even hits the floor.
Total of 9 turnovers between these two squads. Cruz against Cruz. Mark against Mark. And the smaller Mark wins this matchup. That's going to be a foul against the taller Mark.
Either way, Mark Cruz gets the foul.
Ano to? SM versus TM.
Yes.
Small Mark versus tall Mark. You know.
Right there, tumama talaga, tinamaan sa mukha.
And what we have here, there's a huddle between two teams. I think our referees are checking, no? So it's just going to be a regular foul.
Not really, that should just be a regular foul.
Pero dahil kanina pa penalty ang Batangas, it's going to be free throws for the Ant-Man, the smaller Mark Cruz. But make no mistake about it, even though there is a disparity in height, there is no lack of heart for this guy, the Ant-Man, Mark Cruz.
Pero clarify natin na parehong Mark Cruz yan, pero yung Ant-Man lumalaki rin yun, di ba?
Oo nga, no? Well, si Ant-Man naman kasi, hindi man lumalaki ang height nito ni Ant-Man Mark Cruz natin. Yung laro niya at yung puso niya, yun yung lumalaki.
Oh yes, tama naman.
16 to 17, 35 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
This is a quick first quarter, no?
Really?
Ang bilis, tini ko, ang bilis. Despite all the calls, ha?
Yun na nga, ang daming fouls. Both teams already in the penalty. Batangas was in the penalty as soon as, I think, the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. And Gensan also over the limit now. 26 seconds remaining for the opening frame.
Or baka nainip lang ako na something really quick is gonna happen because nothing's happened very significant yet for both these teams.
There's a 2-second differential between shot clock and game clock here. Liu, defended by MJ de la Virgen. Liu will take the outside shot. High looper doesn't go in. Arim collects it for Batangas. They have 5 seconds to work with. Does de la Virgen realize this? MJ, pass to Jong. Valoria couldn't get it off in time. And that's going to do it. First quarter in the books here between Batangas and Gensan.
Well, not really a good shooting quarter para dito sa Gensan. They shot only 30% of their shots pero more efficient shooting but sure is gonna make that shot from top of the key. Itong si Larry Rodriguez, sniper de Mexico, going to work, exploiting mismatches and cross matches underneath. And Seda Blasa later on trying to contribute with a three, but the calls have really slowed down. Latter part of the first quarter, it's just a 1-point lead for the Batangas from Masters.
The Batangas City Tanduay Rum Masters having their way dominating the Manila Batang Quiapo 103 to 59 sa kanilang huling laro. More on Batangas from Ms. Mika Bisamas.
Coach Cholo Villanueva has won all of his playoffs battles against the Gensan franchise getting into the South Finals. Last season was more sweet as there was Dubai as a reward. Although they did not make it there, they definitely gave Quezon a good fight. But you know, he said playing against Coach Elvis is always so tiring, being very physical, scrappy. So more than their bodies, I asked the boys to have a good mental mind frame today. Less init ulo. Sabi ko, pati ba ikaw coach, dapat bawasan ang pagkainit ng ulo. Mukhang na-test na yun before we ended the first quarter. Anyway, CJ Lane is nursing some pain on his knee, so he's not here today. Have you, Coach Mike?
Thank you so much for that report, Mika, and thank you also for that update on CJ Lane. Tama ka nga dyan, nakita na natin kanina. Coach Cholo already stepping onto the floor, arguing a call earlier that was a foul against Tonton Bringas that was supposedly called a defensive foul laban sa kanila.
And I think that really is just understanding the implications of this game down the road. Because eventually, babalikan nila ito from the deep playoff runs. Man, had we performed better in that game, we would have been in a better position. And so, I do understand Coach Cholo getting off some parang arguments with the officials trying to contest some of the calls. But indeed, this has playoff implications. But on how they performed in that Manila game, if you're Batangas, sure they got off that win, but I'm pretty sure Coach Cholo was not happy with the 3-point shot making in the free throws, where they only shot 25% from free and just 61% from the line. But Jong Baloria and the rest of the guys really trying to make things better in that department para dito sa Rum Masters.
So they do make it better here with that drive to the basket by Baloria, increasing Batangas' lead to 3, 19-16. Wala pang 2 minuto nakakalipas dito sa ating pangalawang yugto.
Well, if there's one thing that has not developed well yet for both these teams, it's support from the bench. See this pass here for Jong. Understood that there was a closeout, drive that lane, use the glass to get those 2 points.
Mark Cruz on the right side.
Gotta watch out for
Mark
foul.
versus Mark, Cruz versus Cruz. The Ant-Man couldn't get a shot off. Liu with 1 second gets it to go.
Who would have thought that Joel Liu would try and finish that offense with the clock down the wire.
Well, that's a responsibility that he has been willing to accept this season for Coach Elvis Villanueva Tolentino.
At saka in-embrace niya, no? Ano ang importante doon? Offensive.
And he draws the offensive foul here against Jong Baloria.
And ang kanina, before that foul called on Jong Baloria, clearly there was kind of like a little hug underneath, on the top. Ito yung using that left hand, extending it, resulting to that offensive foul. But previous to that, Evangelista was all over Seda Blasa on that middle ball action.
7-4 in terms of turnovers. Cruz, guarded by O'Neal Larim. Bring us to set the screen. Pocket pass, picked off by O'Neal. Batangas up by 1 point. De La Virgen back to Arim. O'Neal off the glass, wala, malayo.
Overshot the mark.
Cruz looks ahead to Val Acuna against his former squad. Acuna could not finish. Baloria gets past Liu. That's a foul from behind by our version of the Ninja, Joel Liu.
Well, Joel Liu got caught in that little hessy move by Jong Baloria. I felt that Jong was trying to cage itong the defense of Joel Liu. But in the process, Joel Liu hit him, and so he got called for that foul.
Dexter Apinan, who was the top scorer for Batangas in that game against Manila, checked in for the first time. Sa kabila naman, it's Eloy Tan and itong si Aaron Heruta para sa Gensan. Apinan to the corner. De La Virgen takes the shot, draws the foul on Eloy Tan.
I would have loved for Dexter Apinan to have looked for a shot at that point. He was in a position, I felt he's comfortable at shooting. But really, he looks to spray it out to his shooters first. And that happens to be MJ De La Virgen right there on that right corner side.
He was 8 out of 8 against the Batang Quiapo. And that continues, 9 out of 9 from the previous game.
It was actually one of those considered for best player of the game, but we really couldn't turn a blind eye on the performance of CJ Lane. And he was really pretty much unstoppable down on the low block, especially in the latter part of the game.
Once again, Coach Alex Angeles of San Juan sitting alongside Jackson Corpus. Cruz could not save it, and that's going to stay with Gensan. Marami pang oras sa kanilang shot clock, 18 seconds to be exact. And Coach Elvis Tolentino will take this opportunity to map out a play. Still 7 minutes remaining here in the first half. Nagbabalik ang inyong liga ng bawat Pilipino. This is the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League 7th season. We are live from the Phil Oil Center in San Juan. That's our Gixxer fans of the game born for greatness. It's Friday today, so kung wala kayong ginagawa, sweldo pa lang ngayon, no? if wala kayong ginagawa, troop on over here to the Phil Oil Center. It's just the second game of our Friday triple header. This is Batangas versus Gensan, and then later on we have Binyan going up against the home squad, the San Juan Knights. Abby Palanya alongside Coach Mike Perez and Miss Mika Abisamis. Scores 21-18. 3 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Rodriguez, he has been aggressive here in the first half. Kakapasok nilang ulit. He misses that shot. Out to Evangelista, who goes out to Heruta. Tolentino will take it from way downtown. Good line, just too strong para kay Kyle.
He's so out of two in his last 2 attempts so far from beyond. Speaking of Kyle,
Apinan, looking for Jong Baloria. Hands it off. Jong for 3. Couldn't get it to drop. That was halfway through para kay Jong Baloria. Gensan secures the possession.
3-point shooting continues to be a struggle para dito sa Batangas from Masters. For the season, they're averaging 30%, making 7 of their 26 attempts from there.
Kyle open from the right corner. That 2 rims out. Apinan able to salvage that para sa Batangas.
Both shots, good looks for Kyle. Got a straight line, really just couldn't get it to fall.
4 na minuto na nakakalipas dito sa ating pangalawang yugto. Apinan decides to go the right way, and that is to the Virgen. That's off the heel. Rebound tapped around. It's on the floor right now. Rodriguez picks it up. Heruta assessing the situation. Aaron kicks it out. Rodriguez, he loves that spot. That one's off to the right. Apinan once again sacrificing his body to collect that rebound for Batangas City. This time it's a foul against Gensan.
Grabe rin talaga magsakripisyo ng katawan nitong si Jexter Apinan eh. I mean, offense and defense both ends.
And that's why for him to be playing this type of way still at this point of his career is certainly very remarkable. Mad props to him.
Pretty much. At saka hindi mo makakakitaan yan nang nagko-complain na masakit yung ano. He just, shrugs it off.
Oo, bihira talaga.
At saka ang dami ng mileage rin yan,
Yun na nga, coach. Kaya doon ako nabibilib talaga. And still, he doesn't change the way he plays.
Agree.
All out pa rin. Tsaka antigas pa rin talaga maglaro.
Pretty much. Tsaka yung basketball IQ that really remains intact for Jexter Apinan. That time, turnover. And this is where Batangas is really losing an advantage. They turn the ball over. They allow the Gensan Warriors to score an open floor. And in that department, it's a +7 right now. That's 9-2 in points of turnovers. Of the 8 turnovers that's been forced in Batangas by the Gensan Warriors.
That was a highlight pass made by Aaron Heruta to Eloy Tan. I'm sure we're going to see that later on. Levy Hernandez could not hit from 3. And now, a chance to take the lead for the Warriors. Tolentino, hindi na nagsaya ng oras. Intisian. Cruz pulls down that rebound. Mark Cruz already with 5 rebounds in this game.
Oh, man.
Almost another steal for the Warriors. Isit gets it back. Apinan will go to the reverse. That's good para kay Jexter Apinan.
The old reliable in Jexter Apinan. Kabantayan pa niya nito si Apreco na matigas rin.
Isa pa yan, coach. And here he gets the steal. Those long limbs coupled with the desire to collect those 50-50s just makes it very hard for him to stop.
Agree.
This is our assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. There is no stopping him when he has that primary focus and that desire to go for those loose balls.
Pero kita mo yung depensa middle action para dun sa Gensan Warriors. CJ Isit was in a lot of trouble and Jexter Apinan bailed him out by making that shot attempt after the assist.
Heruta could not bail out Gensan there. Apinan once again making a huge defensive play, swatting that shot by Kyle Tolentino. Panyamogan gives it up. Ocheo gets Heruta on his feet. That's going to be a foul against Aaron. Bailout call para sa Batangas. This is our fast break of the game, brought to you by Extreme Expo, personal karaoke speaker, everyday karaoke.
And that's the second time that we've seen a ball get stolen off a blitz middle of the floor, which turns into points. On the other end, favoring itong Gensan Warriors.
Under 4 minutes to play, 9 on the shot clock for Batangas. Apinan in that dunker spot. Ochea was blocked there. Shot clock continues to run here. Panyamogan off the glass, too strong. Apreku gets to it for Gensan.
The shooting has really dipped for Batangas in the last few possessions, save for that good assist to Jexter Apinan.
That pass intended for Rodriguez went to the front of the rim, and Batangas able to gain a stop here. Isit, Hernandez, Panyamogan, Ochea, Apinan, the 5 on the floor for Batangas. Hernandez attacks the closeout off
There you
the
go.
glass para kay Levy Hernandez.
There you go, and they're gonna need him to score.
Apreku, meanwhile, on the other side, running ahead of everybody else on the floor. Basket plus the foul para kay Felix Apreku.
The big man running the middle of the floor, coaches would call that a rim run, and really understanding where the other big man is defensively. And the mere fact that you get Felix Apreku running the middle, contorting his body for that finish, laking bagay na niyan para kay Coach Elvis.
Apreku will give you heart, hustle, energy, tons and tons of rebounds, a lot of defensive intensity. But for him to score, that's a huge bonus.
Agree. Parang nagka-cancel out nga si Jexter Apinan tsaka si Apreku, no? And
Actually,
the guys on the floor for both teams.
Mas may scoring ability lang talaga si Jexter.
Yes.
Ooh, a walk called against Philip Panyamogan. Good defense shown there by Gensan.
And you could see Coach Cholo telling him, take the shot. Don't take it to the defense. Get to an open spot and release it. You're within the perimeter. We're pretty good at it. You got to take that shot.
If my lip reading was right, wag mo na pahirapan, Philip. Wag mo na pahirapan.
Exactly.
They're still up by 3 though. 2 minutes and 30 remaining here in our first half. Mga Kaliga, we'd like to invite you all to our 2025 MPBL All-Star Day. That's going to happen this Saturday, September 6 at the Alonte Sports Arena in Binyan, Laguna. Magkita-kita po tayo lahat dyan for our 3-point shootout slam dunk contest, our All-Star Executive Game, and of course, the main attraction, our All-Star Game between the North and South All-Stars. Abangan nyo si Levy Hernandez dyan, and a lot more of the players here between these two teams will be participating that day. Two of the top teams in the Southern Division. That guy, Kyle Tolentino, will start for the South. And he draws the foul against CJ Isit.
Yeah, at some point, CJ Isit was going to get called for that foul. He just kept on putting that arm on the back of Kyle Tolentino. Pretty much mismatched down there with Kyle having size advantage over CJ Isit.
Looking forward once again to our All-Star Day this Saturday. That one time you can see rivals be teammates.
Oh, yes.
For one day only.
For the fans.
Yes. Oh, Heruta could not get that shot to drop. And Gensan continues to be within 3 points here against Batangas. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half.
And so far, this is looking more like a Batangas game, where it's more defensive, except for those turnovers that was forced on Batangas. This has pretty much been their kind of game.
Hernandez could not hit over the defense of Tolentino. Eloy Tan forward to Kyle. Masyadong napalakas. A little bit too much muscle on that feed galing kay Eloy Tan.
One might say a little bit of indecisiveness on Eloy Tan. He didn't know whether Kyle was going to go for that layup attempt or squaring off to the 3.
A minute and 23 remaining sa laro na to in the first half. Hernandez to the corner. Isit doubled there by Aprecu and Tolentino. Foul may tatawag laban sa Gensan. That's their 4th team foul. Last foul to give there for the Warriors.
Every time that ball goes to the corner in this zone defense of the Gensan Warriors, they are going to double that corner. Going to force that ball out of there. And the other guys are really just waiting for the, ball reversal the other end or closing out on that one pass away guy.
Panyamogan calls out the play. 11 on the shot clock for Batangas. Isit looking at the corner. Hernandez.
That's the shot.
Turn, fire, no. Rodriguez with the board. The pitch to Acuna, leaking out on the other side. 2 points for Gensan, courtesy of Val Acuna.
And that's one of the reasons why they immediately, after that shot attempt by Levin Hernandez, wanted to secure that defensive rebound because they were on a fly-out mode. The defender that defended against the shooter would fly out and see if they've got an open run on the other end.
Meanwhile, King Importante gets the basket to go, plus the foul. Eloy Tan picking up his 2nd personal foul. You don't also expect King Importante to make a lot of shots, but when he does, you're going to take it.
Exactly. And he is the KING on the VIP. King Importante. Don't you just love that name? Your name's King and your last name's Importante.
Yun na nga eh. How important can you be?
Meron pa bang kahalaga doon?
How more important can you get than King Importante?
Oh, yes.
30 seconds to go.
And he's living up to his name.
Well, he has been an important piece of the rotation for Coach Cholo over the past few seasons. Acuna lost it. Rodriguez puts it up. Ochea secures it for Batangas. Shot clock is off. Isit forward to King. Might have gotten away with a walk. Importante puts it up. Doesn't get the bounce this time. Panyamogan recognizes there's still 5 seconds on the clock. Isit will go for the 3. No! And that is gonna do it. That heave might not have counted anyway. That puts the first half in the books between Batangas City and Gensan here. Low scoring ball game between these two teams.
Pretty much a good outcome as well for both teams getting tested in the first half, and so far Batangas with upper hand by 3, 27-24.
Gensan 1 for your Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. My name is Mika Abesamis, and right now I am joined by two special guests. Sir Merman Flores, of course, of the Gensan Warriors, and Coach Dino Ponce Enrile of the Batangas Tanduay Masters. Magandang gabi. Mga Ginoo. Sir, alam naman natin, no, nag-enjoy lahat dun sa inyong panalo against Zamboanga, that 1-point win, what a high. How do you think that confidence will help, lalo na kailangan yung lumayo dito sa Batangas sa second half?
Lalo-lalo na no, kung manalo kami tonight, mas malaking moral booster yon. So any win is a plus for us. Any wins will help us boost our confidence. So yun lang, sana tuloy-tuloy lang yung laro namin at we'll bring it towards playoffs.
Napakaganda. Sir, sino mga gusto mong batiin at pasalamatan?
Yes, syempre, we would like to thank our sponsors, Armor On, Jinky Skin, at sa lahat ng mga sumusuporta dyan sa Gensan ngayon, sila Mayora Lorely Pacquiao, Bobby Pacquiao, and Gov Ruel Pacquiao. At syempre, shoutout nga pala sa nanonood ngayon sa Taytay Rizal ngayon, ang Cozy Barbershop, sa Merman's Pete, yung mga tropa natin doon. At syempre, huwag niyong kakalimutan, Prime PH coming to Philippines soon.
Maraming salamat once again, Boss Merman Flores of the Gensan Warriors. Coach, alam naman natin, nakwento nga ni Coach Cholo sa akin kanina, pag ito yung kalaban nyo, ang ganda palagi ng laban. Pero so far, kayo ang palagi na nanalo against them. But how do you think you will get far in this game? Kasi medyo dikit ang score.
Yeah, medyo dikit. No? It's like a playoff game na to for us, no? For both of us. Like Sir Merman said, no? It's kung sino manalo dito, moral booster para sa kanya. Especially going to the playoffs na tayo, no? So how do we get far? We just have to be consistent offensively and defensively, no? We try to instill the system that Coach Cholo has been doing since day one. And let's see how it goes so far.
Maraming salamat. Meron ka ba mga gustong batiin at pasalamatan, Coach?
Of course, yung mga Batangas fans natin dyan, no? Headed by Miguel Bagui. Yan, nandito sila, sumusuporta kahit nasan kami. Plus headed by our Mayor Marvy Marino, and Congressman Beverly de Macua. And of course, mga Tanduay officials namin headed by Lucio Tan III and our team manager, Mr. Gene Alabanza.
Right. Maraming salamat once again, Coach Dino Ponce Enrile of the Batangas Tanduay Rom Masters. Magbabalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
MPBL All-Star na.
MPBL All-Star na. MPBL All-Star na.
MPBL All-Star na. Abangan ang inyong MPBL Idol ngayong September 6 sa Lantern Sports Arena. Masaya to mga kaliga. See you there.
MPBL All-Star na this Saturday, September 6 at the Alontes Sports Arena. Ini-invite namin kayong lahat mga kaliga. But for now, we have our second game ng ating Friday triple header here at the Philoil Center in San Juan between Gensan and Batangas. A low-scoring affair considering both of these teams. They average above 80 this season.
When you're shooting 38% from the field while limiting Gensan Warriors to just 25%, partly you would have already done your job. And you talk about defense, Batangas getting committed to 9 turnovers na nakakuha ng 9 na puntos naman itong Gensan. Dun bumawi ang Gensan. Pero offensive rebounding, since itong isa sa mga top 5 natin na offensive rebounding teams itong dalawa, importanteng makita natin yan. Ang offensive rebounds is 4 and 3, to which yung second chance points, hindi rin masyado maganda yung nakukuha nila. 3 and 2 lang. Napakababa considering na mataas ang pagkakataon makakuha sila ng offensive rebound.
Well, Coach Dino already mentioned that this is a playoff type game para sa kanila. I'm sure that's the same for Coach Elvis Tolentino and the gang. Larry Rodriguez leading the way for Gensan with 5 together with Joel Liu. Mark Cruz and Kyle Tolentino with 4 apiece. So you see nobody yet close to double figures para sa Warriors sa laro na to. Spread out ang kanilang scoring.
Agree.
Para naman sa Batangas, Levy Hernandez, the sole guy in double figures sa laro na to with 10.
And then somebody's gotta help out si Levy Hernandez. Buti na lang nagkaroon ng stretch na maganda yung naging performance ni Jexter Apinana. No? Nakatulong yun sa cause nitong Batangas Ram Masters.
And on the opening possession for Gensan, there's a foul on the rebounds play. That's gonna go against John Buluto. That's gonna be number 4 laban sa kanya.
And the thing is, he has just come back. And the starters of Batangas really right now, also the starters in the second half, they want to clear this and attack the defense of John. Do not commit a foul if you're John, because understanding you got 4.
And Ringas makes good use of that. Taking it to the reverse there against Amboluto, 27-26.
At the end of the day kasi, basketball is still a hunt game. You hunt where you have an advantage. And right there, that was the easy hunt. John Amboluto with 4, you gotta attack his defense.
I love how you put that. This guy is a hunter himself. Levy Hernandez hunting his prey and making sure he delivers there. That's off the glass for 2 more para kay Levy Hernandez.
Little pinch post action, making Levy go downhill, no problem.
Ang sarap panoorin, Coach, pag hindi na masyadong kailangan mag-dribble yung isang player for him to get a basket, no?
Oh, I think ang sarap din nun para sa player kasi
less nakakapagod yun eh.
less effort eh, di ba? Ang dali ng reads.
Meanwhile, on the other side, there's another foul called. And this might be number 5 on John Amboluto.
It might be. But if you're John, you really should be staying away from that situation.
He was saved there. That foul isn't going to go against Philip Panyamogan. Mark Cruz will try to save John Amboluto from graduating in this game. Siya muna ang papwesto dito sa gitna para sa Batangas. He joins King Importante, Don Ochea, Philip Panyamogan, and Sniper de Mexico, Levy Hernandez. On the other side, it's Ping Masaglang, CJ Gonzalez, Valacuña, Nico Elorde, and Tonton Bringas.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Javi, na judging from, at least my observation from the instructions given by Coach Cholo, he's really more focused on the defensive end of the floor. Samantalang ito namang si Coach Elvis really looking to exploit on the offensive side.
Gonzalez is trying to dip his body into the defender to no avail. Meanwhile, Levy Hernandez gliding for 2 points.
Oh my God, nahiga sa ere. Kita mo yung pagkakaglide, no? Ibang klase talaga ang Sniper de Mexico.
He just makes it look so easy, huh?
And a graceful, finish.
This guy hasn't been much of a factor in this game against his former team. And that goes to Don Ochea right now. Ochea unable to score against Gonzalez.
Definitely a push right there. I say that's on Ping.
Check out his fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X, playing on-the-go speaker. Take your music anywhere. This guy can take the ball anywhere if he chooses to do so.
And then that defense of really put that to the test. Oh man, how about that three? Again, it's Tonton Bringas right there. Trying to contest that three.
Mark Cruz draining it all over the defense of Tonton Bringas. What a big shot coming from TM, taller Mark.
Yes. I was going to say, if you're driving and you're listening, when you say Mark Cruz, that's the taller Mark Cruz of Batangas that actually knocked down that three. Somehow, you get used to the smaller Mark Cruz being attached always in the same breath to a word made three. This time it's the taller Mark that does it.
But I think it's only going to be a 2-point shot. He had his foot on the line. So just 2 points there for Batangas and a chance for one more here at the line para kay Mark Cruz.
What's the thing here? What's going on? I say this is going to be a baseline out of bounds? Wasn't that a shot make?
Yeah, that's why it should be a free throw. Referee Michael Kinay saying that it should be a side throw-in? Interesting.
Well, Coach Cholo is not contesting this because this might be an opportunity to even get, another 2 points or 3 points maybe. So this could be a 5-point swing in favor of Batangas. Sa kabila, yun naman ang ina-argue ni Coach Elvis. Teka muna, isang free throw lang dapat. May pagkakataon pa sila makakuha ng mas maraming puntos pag in-inbound yan.
Jong Valoria will check back into the game.
And if this is going to be, is this a okay? It's a sideline out of bounds. I thought it was a baseline out of bounds.
First 14 on their shot clock. The zone here by the Warriors. Valoria quickly back to Panyamogan. Does it use the importante screen? Valoria attacks the closeout. High off the glass and in for Jong Valoria.
And somehow Jong Valoria on a catch and shoot has stayed away from open threes. He just keeps on attacking the closeout, and that time for the fruit of that 2-point of the glass.
4 na puntos na sa laro na to para kay Jong. Pasaglang misses. He hasn't hit from the perimeter in this game. Panyamogan has Gonzalez trailing behind. Bounces it off. Nico. Unfortunately, that's gonna go to Gensan. This is Elorde now. Hands it off.
Oh,
Acuna could not get his rhythm still. Elorde will reset here for the Warriors. Hernandez is on him. Bringas wants it. Gonzalez sets the screen. Nico still hanging in the air. Short, no. CJ is there for the stick back.
Ako, nagustuhan ko doon yung atake ni Nico Elorde papuntang gitna. Humahang time ng konti. Niyaan yung depensa na lumagpas. Pero ang ganda rin ng recovery para sa offensive putback na yun.
If we've talked about how much Levy Hernandez has been enjoying his best MPBL season so far, Nico Elorde has been as well. That's a miss coming from Sniper de Mexico. 6 ang hinahabol dito ng Gensan. There has been no clear shot opportunity for Valacuña in this game.
Yes, agree. Because, understanding yung capabilities. Oh no, 4-corner player did see it.
Elorde had trouble with that basketball. Pasaglang now has it. Batangas shooting down all the possible options here for Gensan, and yet Elorde bails the Warriors out.
Making something out of nothing. Yun ang ginagawa ni Nico kanina pa, right down the middle of the lane where you got more hands defending against you. He just finds a way.
No high-low there for Batangas. Panyamogan pulls up, jumper. No, that's long. Cruz. That too will not work, but Importante is there to make Batangas get another possession and draws another foul against Gensan. That's going to be on Elorde. This is our fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X Play on the Go Speak. Sorry, this is our play of the game brought to you by 1xBet. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
A good drive right there by Nico Elorde. We talked about him putting the ball on the floor, and he loves going middle.
Gensan able to secure the stop. Elorde back to Liu. Three-pointer is good. Joel Liu brings Gensan to within a point. 35-34.
Well, they forgot to peel off on Joel Liu. Now they know that he's a 35% three-point shooter. Joey, how many three-pointers does he have?
2 3-point shots already in this game. He has 8 points sa laro na to.
He's 2 out of 3 from that land.
Cruz catches the pass, sprays it out to Philip Panyamogan, who is giving us a glimpse of what he can do this Saturday at the 3-point shootout. Liu, foot on the line, that will not work.
Well, Philip Panyamogan on his side is 1 out of 5 from 3. And now they slow this down again.
Remember, Panyamogan has the record for most threes in a ball game in the MPBL. Hernandez will not mind if he shoots 3 of his own.
You got 2 of the best shooters that side of the floor para sa Batangas. Panyamogan on a wing 3 and a corner 3, and Levy Hernandez. You got to pick your poison. Levy says, it's my turn now.
Medyo mas napapabilis yung exchange natin dito in the third quarter compared to the first half. But Batangas lording it over. Rodriguez restores a little order back to Gensan.
Hirap rin ang trabaho ni Mark Cruz na from Batangas because he definitely has to be worried about the shooting capability from the perimeter of Larry Rodriguez. That time, late contest on that closeout.
Panyamogan gets it to the left side. Baloria quickly back to Philip. Panyamogan back-to-back hits.
Now, one thing you gotta be worried about is that Philip Panyamogan, on that release, you could feel he's got that rhythm now.
2 straight 3-pointers for Philip Panyamogan. Batangas in the lead by 8. Can Gensan once again come up with the answer? Elorde eluding the defense. It rolls out. Liu out to Rodriguez. Attacks the defense. CJ for 3. Wala. That was way off the mark. Hit the side of the rim there. But Gensan will keep possession with only 6 seconds on their shot clock.
You see those 2 guys that went down on the floor? King Importante, Nico Elorde. Parang wala lang. Talagang warrior talaga sa loob ng floor, no?
That's the type of basketball that they have dedicated their careers to. Good old hard-nosed playoff type basketball.
And that's why their respective teams would love to keep them.
This guy too, Felix Apreco, he does not give you the points, but he will give you the hustle, the energy, the rebounds. And these are opportunities that are meant as bonus points for the Warriors when Felix Apreco has the opportunity to score.
Pretty much. Nakakalimutan kasi, iba kasi madalas pagka basketball, ang tingin shooting, no? Ito talagang yung mga non-stat things of the game, that's really their key contribution.
Although only shooting 41.7% from the free throw line. Kaya kung ikaw ang Batangas, okay lang din sa'yo na mapunta sa free throw line si Felix Apreco.
Yes.
Check out our special deal from 1xBet when you scan the QR code and claim your special offer. And most of the young kids, or rather most of the kids, should realize that there's 5 people on the floor and there are a lot of people to play on your team each game, and not everybody should put attention to scoring points.
Oh, yun nga rin ang na-realize ko eh.
Kids ka pala.
Okay, fine. Let's move on.
Liu leaves it for Rodriguez. Short on the stab.
Gotta take that.
Well, Tolentino will. Kyle for 3. Yes, sir.
Better three-point shooting so far this quarter for both these teams. Both for the game have 4 3-pointers apiece.
No, 5 already for
5
Gensan.
already, right? 5 for Gensan, sorry.
Apinan has no passing option. Decides at the last minute to go for Mark Cruz. Apinan was found there by Larry Rodriguez. He still is able to get those fouls because of that quick first step. This is our 3-point shot of the game, brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances.
Again, si Mark Cruz na naman yung humabol palabas doon to challenge the 3-point attempt of Kyle Tolentino.
Baseline throw-in for the Romasters. MJ De La Virgen balik sa laro.
Oh, wow.
Hindi nila napansin si Cedric Ablaza.
Pangklase. Mahirap talaga pagka baseline out of bounds. Nakatalikod ka na, hindi mo pa alam kung saan yung magiging action na nakafocus. That time, they went weak side of the floor.
On the strong side, Tolentino gives it up to Apreco. Not much movement on the weak side. Here's Cruz meeting the basketball. The Ant-Man jumps, passes. Rodriguez gets the bounce.
How many times have we seen Mark Cruz find Larry Rodriguez. The last time when he hit that game winner, this time drive down the baseline, that curl on the weak side of the floor allows Larry that finish.
This is our assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. The lead of Batangas City is down to 5 points. Levi Hernandez and Philip Panyamogan have been by far the best shooters on this Batangas City team this season.
And pretty much yan ang key contribution talaga nitong dalawa to. Leave the defense to the other guys, but there's a part of both those players that would actually do defense, pero ganda nang nilalaro nila ngayon offensively para dito sa Batangas Rum Masters.
17 already in the game for Levi Hernandez, but Panyamogan already with 9 points in this game on 3 3-point shots. These two guys have been instrumental. Sorry, 6 points pala para kay Philip Panyamogan. 2 tres dito sa ating third quarter.
Yeah, he's 2 out of 6 from beyond.
These two guys have been instrumental in Batangas setting the tone here in this game. Gensan has made their attempts in comebacks, but Batangas has continued to hold the fort. Valoria from way downtown. Couldn't beat the shot clock. And that's going to be a turnover laban sa Batangas.
Not a good offensive set, if you ask me, for Batangas. They pretty much were, not very comfortable with their movements. Not that usual poise from Batangas Rum Masters that you kind of get accustomed to, especially with the clock ticking on them.
Operations Head Emerson Oreta and Security Chief Rudy Distrito in the venue here at the Philoil Center in San Juan City, the home of the Knights, who will be defending their home court against the Binyan Tatakjel right after this matchup between Gensan and Batangas. 2 minutes and 18 remaining here in quarter number 3. Moni Larim will check back in for Sniper de Mexico, Levi Hernandez.
And yung pag-limit nitong Batangas ng 8 points lang sa Gensan Warriors na sa second quarter really told on, this being more of a defensive game. And at least itong third quarter, nakakita na tayo ng mga puntos galing sa labas. Now they want to isolate Chong Valoria here.
That's Kyle Tolentino making his move. Follow-away jumper will not fall para kay Kyle. 46-41, 5 pa rin ang lamang dito ng Batangas. Gensan has been sticking to this zone for the most part.
Right.
Dito sa laro na to.
Sure looks like a 1-3-1.
Eloy Tan streaking ahead of the pack. He will go up for that jumper. Tolentino skies for the rebound. He's blocked, but a lot of arm caught there by the Batangas defense. Although it looks like a lot of the Batangas players on the floor adamant that it shouldn't have been called a foul.
And they really missed out on checking on the nearest guy that was to rebound, and you have to box him out. There were more dark shirts than white in that situation.
Coach's challenge for Coach Solo Villanueva. Will be right back.
Upon review, the challenge was unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful ang naging challenge ni Coach Solo Villanueva. Let's take a look at it again. See here Tolentino soaring for that rebound. There you see Apinan catching a lot of the wrist and still contesting the call despite the review.
It was more on the wrist, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, mayroon talagang tama doon sa
Hindi naman ako
sa
nagbabalik mata, no?
wrist. Oh, yeah. Tama talaga sa wrist.
This free throw of the game brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. 46-41, Tolentino though drawing some ire after that missed free throw. Tolentino so far with 7 points in this game. Couple of rebounds. He's missed 2 from the free throw line. He goes 2 out of 4 right now after that make. Arim will walk it up here for the Masters. Ablaza asking for it. Left elbow, they go to
There
the
you
right
go.
side. Three-pointer on the way. That is money in the bank para kay John Valoria.
And you got to take that shot because on that 1-3-1, that pretty much is the open spot. And so they've never gone to double that corner side. And if you're Jong, you got to rise and take it.
Because there's a lot of trouble if you try to double that corner.
Yes.
Tolentino way short on that shot attempt. Batangas, I must say, they have so far successfully neutralized the impact of Kyle Tolentino in this game.
Well, look how surgical the Batangas Rum Masters are attacking this zone right now.
Valoria could not hit from the outside. That save goes to the wrong guy. Eloy Tan pushing for the white shirts. The Ant-Man catch fire, no score. Counter run here for Batangas. Here's Valoria, the shovel pass. De La Virgen will not settle for a three-pointer.
Well, everybody in that bench wanted MJ to take it.
Surgical, as you've said here, are Batangas trying to use as much clock as possible. Shot clock down to 5 now. Ablaza blocked there by Larry Rodriguez. Tolentino says, hold on, let's settle down. We've been a little bit too sloppy the past few possessions.
Yeah, indeed. You got to
Last
settle
shot
down.
time. 8 seconds. Cruz will take it early. Mark Cruz missing. Apinan still has time here for Batangas, but that's an early heave. Oh, might have been a pass to Ablaza. But whatever the intention was, maubusan rin ang oras doon ang Batangas City.
A huge improvement in terms of three-point shooting in this quarter. Both these teams respectively have only one three-point make for Batangas and a couple, or three rather, for Gensan at the break. But right now, both these teams have 5 three-point makes, and a lot of that has to do with this guy right here, Philip Panyamogan, and including Levi Hernandez. And isama mo pa itong si Kyle Tolentino. So, you're getting the three-point mix in, pero maganda pa rin ang nilalaro nitong Batangas, trying to slow down itong Gensan Warriors.
Different guys stepping up at different moments of this game for the Rum Masters as they hold a 7-point lead heading into the 4th and final frame. Check out our LGR Sportswear fan outfit of the game. Brought to you by LGR, the official outfitter of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. We welcome you once again to our Friday triple header here inside the Phil Oil Center in San Juan City. Good sized crowd for a Friday night, TGIF. Bago kayo gumimik, pwede po na kayong dumaan dito. We still have one game remaining. Our main attraction at 8 o'clock p.m., the home squad. The San Juan Knights defending their home floor against the Binyanta Takjel. And still a whole quarter to play here between Gensan and Batangas. Remember, this game has heavy implications on the team standings in the South, considering both teams are seated beside each other dun sa ating team standings sa South. Batangas continues to hold on to that number 3 spot, and after that win by Rizal, sila naman ang umangat. Ang Gensan bumaba ng bahagya. Quarter scoring in this game, it has been a highly defensive ball game.
Very true enough, and none more glaring that the 8-point output only for Gensan. in the second quarter. Pero ganun din 10 points rin lang in-score nitong Batangas in that match. So I would like to mirror back yung sinasabi mong implication para dito sa dalawang teams na to. Win over the other, whoever wins this, in the case they get a tie in terms of record, because both these teams have a good chance of getting to spot number 2. And yung win over the other might be the tiebreaker if that happens.
And I'm sure Gensan, they would love to have some home court games during the postseason, considering they haven't hosted a game all season long. And that could be a huge boost, especially in the postseason where things get really heated and things get really so much more intense. It's already intense at this point of our regular season. It's going to turn up, as I said earlier, maybe 5 notches higher.
Oh yes, definitely. Tsaka yung mga supporters syempre na nandun na nag-aabang, yun ang mahalaga dyan eh.
Yeah, the 6th man will come into play. Meanwhile, MJ De La Virgen could not get that staying in play. That's going to be a turnover laban sa kanya.
So far, it's been in the last 3 possessions, MJ has made a 3 and then close to turning the ball over twice.
Turnover story though in this game, Coach. Batangas, although they lead by 8, they have committed 11 more turnovers than Gensan in this game.
At saka mabigat dyan, 15 points of turnovers, tapos plus 13 sila sa department na yan, itong Gensan Warriors.
And for the most part, in the half-court set though, defensively, Batangas naman talagang liyamado dyan. They have forced Gensan into a lot of tight situations. Many have fallen in the hands of Felix Chapreco with the clock winding down. He gets fouled. But the thing is, he hasn't been able to capitalize on his free throws. That has contributed to Gensan missing 11 already at this point.
I was about to say that, na kung naipasok nila yung 10, di sana ibang complexion ng game.
1 out of 6 na ngayon si Felix Chapreco. 1 out of 5 rather. 52-45. Let's go courtside to Ms. Mika Abisamis.
Coach Elvis Tolentino has a problem, and that is collective effort from Batangas. As you mentioned earlier, Javi, different guys contributing. Shows chemistry, shows strong brotherhood, ingredients for disaster if Gensan does not find a way to get through. But Coach Elvis said, this is when I need guys like Larry Rodriguez, an MPBL champion, and Val Acuña, another MPBL champion, to be around the young guys. Let's see what this could do. Javi, Coach Mike.
Thank you, Mika. I'm glad that you mentioned that. These are 2 guys that, as Mika mentioned, Coach Elvis has really been backing on. And they're the reasons why yun ang mga pangunahing rason kung bakit sila kinuha dito sa team na to.
Oh, totoo yan. And yung mention ng word na collectively, yan talaga yung nakikita mo dito sa Batangas Scrum Masters. We talked about this. The methodical approach to half-court sets, slowing down the game, and finding open guys. But you gotta avoid turning the ball over kasi itong mangyayari. Diyan magaling itong Gensan Warriors, pumupuntos after a turnover.
And mind you, this is also what happened against Zamboanga, where Gensan practically, if you were watching that game, it wasn't the best of games para sa kanila. But end game, if they have that chance to beat you at the final buzzer, they're going to be a dangerous team.
That is
a lot
right.
of big shot makers on this squad.
That is right. And that +4 difference in the points of turnover in that game over Zamboanga pretty much was the only margin that they needed to come up with that win.
45-52. That's going to be a foul against Batangas. Valoria committing his 2nd personal. Don Otsea will return to the game para kay Jong.
I like that the officials saw that on yung nga parang yakap ni Jong Valoria dun kay Eloy Tan. Hindi yung tulak ni Eloy Tan. So that was the right call.
Eloy now being guarded by Levy. Tan will put the shot over the defense of Levy Hernandez.
Not afraid of the moment. That's what so far Eloy Tan has proven in the past 2 games. He's put in spots in the game where it's highly pressured, and he's delivered.
Oh, hindi nakita ni Joel Leo si Eloy Tan na nangunguna dun sa kabila, but he'll take it himself to no avail. That's a miss. Wasted an opportunity there for the Warriors.
Look at Philip Panyamogan. He's not going for that fast break. We will bring this down, use some clock, and then find out the gaps.
Alam niya na yun ang kanilang kalakasan. Apinan goes to the other side. Panyamogan back with it. Quickly to Levy. Hernandez down the hole.
Oh my God. You knew that was coming.
I felt it, Coach. I felt
Right?
it. I had a big feeling that there was going to be a three-pointer by Levy Hernandez.
Oh my God. You saw that coming. The moment that Philip drove middle and Levy was available.
Again, another tight pass forced on Gensan by this Batangas defense.
I'll tell you what, itong Gensan Warriors, they have not, in my opinion, gotten a clean rhythm three-point look. Lahat ng nakukuha nilang bola sa labas sa 3 points, nadi-disrupt because of the defense, either deflections or what have you. Samantala, sa kabila, methodical itong Batangas. Ibababa na maayos ang bola at hahanapin ng paraan kung paano sila makakascore.
That's one word they haven't had in this game. It's flow.
Yes, agree.
Again, late shot clock situation. Somebody had to take a forced shot. Eloy Tan wasn't lucky at that point. But then Felix Abrego once again forcing another possession for Gensan. And he will throw back to the free throw line.
If you're Batangas, you don't like the foul. But you love that it's Felix Abrego that's going to the line.
47 to 55. There's still a lot of time to play in this game. Under 6 minutes to play. But look at the free throw disparity. Batangas only with 3 attempts, 19 attempts for Gensan. Let's check out that special deal from 1xBet when you scan the QR code and claim your special offer. And so far, that actually has been the difference if you're going to take a look at the numbers solely. Another miss by Apreku. Score stays as is. Importante.
The lowest free throw attempt by Batangas in all their games is 4.
Wow.
That's versus Parañaque when they were 2 out of 4.
Well, you know, they didn't really need much of their free throws so far tonight, as Tolentino making a big basket there. That was a much needed basket for Gensan.
And you love that he took that with a lot of force. I mean, a lot of intention really to score. See this right here. Lane open, open post. You gotta attack it. Ang ganda nung English din sa finger roll ni Kyle Tolentino.
That was our Gixxer great move of the game. Born for greatness. Let's go back courtside to Miss Mika Bisemes.
With the All-Star starter stint, the upcoming playoffs and the PBA draft, I went into Kyle Tolentino's headspace. Sabi ko, how are you taking all these in at a young age? He said he now appreciates that day when he was about 16 years old when Coach Elvis finally took him to a PCU practice game. Noong una daw, ayaw pa niya kasi as it is, strict na daw ang tatay niya sa bahay. Ano pa kaya pag naging coach? True enough, we see it on court. He is treated the same as the rest. So here he is about to start his young, satisfying, but sharp career with a stable anchor. Happy, Coach Mike?
Maraming salamat, Mika. And like I said earlier, you know, it's a blessing and a curse, but I would say more a blessing rather than a curse. I'd still rather have my dad as my head coach dahil it ensures a lot of things. This was the scuffle between Nico Elorde and Philip Panyamogan just now.
I thought there was contact prior to
Yes.
to that hit on the face by Philip Panyamogan. They didn't catch that. Instead, they caught that second action by Philip. So this is the one that they're reviewing right now.
I think Nico Elorde could actually have the satisfaction of Philip Panyamogan being called for, at the very least, a warning for second motion. Referee Michael Kinay now approaching Miguel Pere with a final decision. Batangas already in the penalty, all right? So 5 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in this game. This is something that Gensan could take advantage of. So it is a foul on Nico Elorde, and I'm surprised they elevated it into an unsportsmanlike foul on Philip Panyamogan.
Oh, man.
So it's gonna be 2 free throws right now
But that
for
can
Nico
happen.
Elorde. Yes.
Yeah, but I think that can happen. Well, first you love that foul was called on Nico, but which I strongly feel that's where the first contact happened. But then you react ni Philip Panyamogan. I feel too that deserved that call.
2 free throws converted there by Nico Elorde. That's Mitch Del Carmen Elorde, the better half of Nico, always watching his games together with her lovely daughters. This is a chance for Gensan to make a big momentum shift. Gonzalez on the block against the smaller Levy Hernandez, but the Batangas defense holding their own. That is a travel against CJ.
You know, one other thing that makes it difficult for the Gensan Warriors right now, the only guy who so far has caught a good rhythm offensively is Larry Rodriguez. He's 4 out of 9 from the field. And everyone else has struggled shooting.
And he's not in the game right now. Sniper de Mexico. The 2 South All-Stars. Mano y mano. Levy versus Kyle. Levy could not get that jumper. That one's short too. Ochea is there. The reigning defensive player of the year could not convert. So does Mark Cruz. Multiple opportunities, but Batangas still ends up with the 2 points.
What was that? 3 offensive rebounds? 3
I
or
think
4?
that was 4.
It was 4 offensive rebounds in one go. Oh my.
What will Gensan answer with? Elorde had to improvise there. But for all the fanfare that last possession had, this is just a 6-point game, ladies and gentlemen. This is not far off.
Pretty much. See that first offensive rebound. There's the second one.
That's the third. And there you go.
There you go.
Cruz finishing. Yep, 4 offensive rebounds, coach, dahil dalawa yung mintis ni Levy.
Ni Levy, that's right. Oh my. But you know what? On this shot by Nico Elorde, I felt he went to the defense with that left elbow up. So shouldn't that be a call on Nico Elorde as well?
And that's why Coach Cholo Villanueva is livid there, trying to argue his case. Coach Chief Seb Pingol is trying to restrain him.
I think that one was pretty clear. Nico Elorde tried to initiate, but he had that elbow up.
Elorde has been steady so far from the free throw line tonight. 5 points in the game for Nico Elorde. 3 out of 3 from the charity stripe. Pinan will come back in. 11 out of 25 total from the free throw line for Gensan. 11 out of 26 now. That's the first miss of Elorde in this game. Remember, Batangas has been in the penalty since as early as around the 5-6 minute mark of this 4th quarter. Elorde goes 2 for 3.
2 possession. As a matter of fact, this could be a 1 possession game right now.
And they need a stop here, talking about Gensan. Full court pressure being applied by the Warriors. Trap will not happen for Gensan there as Panyamogan got the pressure release. Philip uses the Apinan screen. Jexter swings it quickly to Ochea. Step back, picks up the dribble. Almost lost it. Panyamogan pulls up. Jumper on the way. Long rebound goes to Levy Hernandez, making it look so simple, making it look so easy right there. Offensive rebound plus stick back for Sniper de Mexico. 22 puntos na para kay Levy. Elorde could not hit from downtown. Panyamogan had Ochea in front but says no. We're going to take our time here. We're going to set up in the half court once again. Panyamogan turns the corner. Philip floater. Napalakas. Apinan able to tap it to himself. Hernandez able to draw some contact there against the Gensan defense to the delight of their fans.
And all this ball movement on the half-court set. Alam mo, ang mahirap dito, kung ikaw ang Gensan Warriors, the longer that Batangas takes that shot, mas frustrating. Kasi you're forced to defend the length of the entire possession.
And this happens. See there, Levy Hernandez. Namimiesta sa laro na to.
Oh. And they will break you down.
We'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Levy Hernandez, 23 big ones in this game. Leading scorer for the Rum Masters. Well above his average of 17.3 points per game. This is now an 8-point lead for Batangas City. 61-53. They equal their biggest lead of the game. 3 minutes and 31 remaining timeout, Gensan. Babalik ang inyong Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Up next on the schedule of Coach Cholo Villanueva and the Rum Masters, they have the Davao Occidental Tigers on September 2. A week after that, they will face the league-leading Abra Weavers. And on September 15, it's going to go against the Bulacan Queens.
And that is going to be a big test, that Abra game.
The Rizal Golden Coolers have stayed behind here in the venue to watch this all-important game. Ganito ka-importante itong laro na to between Gensan and Batangas. Dahil nga, heavy implications ito sa team standings in the Southern Division. Remember, Batangas is trying to hold on to that third spot. And because of that win earlier by Rizal, umangat sila over Gensan.
And I think they also will stay for that Binyan San Juan game because Binyan also is figured out in that four-team traffic under that for that battle for the fourth spot.
Rodriguez is back in the game. Tolentino back to Nico Elorde. The spin. Elorde off the glass and in.
Boy, Nico Elorde has willed this team.
Scoreless in the first half. 9 points in the third and fourth quarters for Nico Elorde. 61-55. 2-possession ball game. Gensan with 2 team fouls. Batangas in the penalty. Hernandez catches it backdoor. Eloy Tan will be called for that personal.
Now, I reacted that way because when you look at that action, I hope we get that again. It was what's called a split action down on the corner. When you have your 2 best offensive players involved in it, Philip Panyamogan and Levy Hernandez. Either way, you got to pick your poison. And if you're late, both guys are capable to score.
Coach, we have not seen this a lot for the most part.
Yes.
As we take a look at this free throw of the game brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Itong kombinasyon ni Levy Hernandez at ni Philip Panyamogan in finishing games.
Yes.
Recently, though, this has been a combination that Coach Cholo has gone to a lot.
And I think that bodes well for Coach Cholo because it gives them identity in terms of closers for series. Kyle, meantime.
That's a miss. Big rebound by Jex Tarapinan.
And look at that. They really will intentionally slow this game down. Look at that. That was an open lane that King Importante did not even take.
Meanwhile, though, a whistle blown against Batangas, Panyamogan and Elorde. Those two, their rivalry has somehow heated up here in the fourth quarter.
And when you talk about, getting to your head, well, I think Nico Elorde is a master with that.
For sure, no doubt about it.
And so in that situation, that's when Nico Elorde over
He is
Philip.
legendary in that aspect of the game.
Now, you've got a lot of shooters right now here on the floor. Larry, Val, Mark, and Kyle, all shooters and scorers for Gensan.
Yeah, 8 points is not too much for a quintet like this. Tolentino couldn't lose Apinan, but finally that footwork enabling him to escape the defense. We now enter crunch time here, the final 2 minutes of this game.
I think that shot they were willing for Kyle to take. No threes. Put that ball on the floor and attack our interior defense.
63 to 57. Offensive foul against Jexter Apinan.
Oh boy.
Here they come, the Gensan Warriors, down by 6 points, 63 to 57.
Talk about getting into the heads of the Rum Masters. Ooh, that was a hard one.
Elbow to the backside of the head there. Rodriguez going to work. The double from Hernandez comes. Triple team.
Ooh.
And Larry Rodriguez, the veteran smarts of the former MPBL champion, playing in his former home floor. Pero bago yan, tingnan muna natin itong play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Larry Rodriguez hitting that clutch free throw.
Let me say that Jexter Apinan did all he could amidst that move of Kyle Tolentino. Avoided that three-point shot, stuck with him going downhill, but really just, that footwork and that power of Kyle Tolentino in full display.
14 out of 29 after Rodriguez goes 2 for 2. That's a far cry from 10 out of 15 against Zamboanga. Rodriguez has 11, 7, and 2 in this game. 2-possession ball game, 63 to 59. Importante, trying to test the defense of Larry. Rodriguez able to force a miss. Cruz pushes it up their front court. The Ant-Man gives it up to their go-to guy, Kyle Tolentino, against Don Ochea, the reigning defensive player of the year. Cruz gets the step on Jexter Apinan. Off the glass na palakas. Last touch Batangas. Gensan will keep it.
And he felt that. Sayang. Para kay Mark Cruz. He had that lane. He lifted before the defense even came in. Matter of fact, that was a good shot. We just didn't have that right English to get that ball to fall.
It's going to be a baseline throw-in for the Warriors. Coach Elvis calling this timeout. 63 to 59. Because we are under the final 2 minutes, our referees get to review all out-of-bounds plays. Yes, it is off King Importante. Therefore, Gensan will keep possession.
That definitely, and it was clearly off King Importante.
So there was no timeout called. It was just because of the review that both coaches were able to huddle up their team. So let's see what Coach Elvis was able to draw up in that opportunity. Acuna triggers in. Cruz has it. They try to set up Acuna on an elevator. Rodriguez was open. Acuna over the defense. Acuna short on the three. Rodriguez had one hand on it, but Ochea was able to collect it. There's a foul against Mark Cruz. That's their last foul to give.
If you're gonna take a shot and you're gonna miss it, and you're the Gensan Warriors, there is high probability that that rebound is definitely gonna go to Batangas. Don Ochea, Levi Hernandez, King Importante, Jexter Apinan. Probably 4 of the best rebounding pieces of Coach Cholo Villanueva here for the Rum Masters.
Tactical substitutions on the defensive end for Coach Elvis. Eloy Tan back in the game along with Joel Liu, CJ Gonzalez, and Felix Aprecu. They will apply pressure here on Ochea, being defended by CJ. Ochea successfully brings it across. Panyamogan breaks free from Eloy Tan.
Mismatch underneath with King and Joel.
They don't want to commit a foul here. They're already in the penalty.
Yeah.
I was just saying it. Aprecu will send Philip Panyamogan to the free throw line.
Because they were anticipating actually that coming out of a two-man action, they always blitz the guy on the ball. And with the ball happens to be with Philip Panyamogan, it really was just a matter of time that they will either blitz and force a turnover or blitz and foul. Because if you don't blitz, Philip's very capable of scoring from the outside.
And this is the Philip Panyamogan that we've come to know. Not really much of this for majority of the season. Pero nakita mo, ito yung gustong laro na makita ni Coach Cholo Villanueva galing kay Philip Panyamogan. check out our special deal from 1xBet when you scan the QR code and claim their special offer. He was brought in for this purpose.
Right, exactly. I was going to say the same, Javi. He was brought in to be a guy to help out scoring and closing out games alongside Seda Blasa and Levy Hernandez.
1 out of 2 for Philip Panyamogan. Coach Elvis Tolentino will burn one of his final timeouts. 37.2 seconds remaining in this game. 5-point lead for the Batangas City Tanduay Rum Masters. Both teams in the penalty.
I will not be surprised if they go for a 2-4-1. Let's listen in.
Sabay-sabay, tatlo ha. Akay, ligaw to ha. Ligaw to. Takbo kayo, mabilis ha. Idaan mo kay Lani. Okay, isipin niya. Ngayon, pagka ano nito, labas kayo rito, eto, Kyle, papunta ka doon, pero tingnan mo si Lani, baka mag-drill nito. Baka mag-iwan sa dito. Tingnan mo to ha. Pag hindi yan, magpuplas kayo ng kabon. Ligaw pa corner.
You just heard the huddle of Coach Elvis Tolentino and the Gensan Warriors. It looks like they will be going to Kyle Tolentino here. Both teams with a timeout remaining.
They might try and isolate that right side of the floor for Kyle Tolentino. Everybody's going to go on one side of the floor and he's going to come back.
Gonzalez catches it back to Mark Cruz. Cruz fakes the shot. Tolentino saves it. Tolentino having trouble with the rock. Acuna for 3. That's short. Cruz tries to keep it alive for Gensan. Lots of indecision on that play, Coach.
Well,
Cruz could not decide on whether he would take the shot or leave it back for Kyle Tolentino. Eventually giving it back to Kyle, but there was a lot of clock drained from that singular sequence.
Yeah, and Coach Cholo understood positions of play. That most probably it was going to be Kyle Tolentino, especially when he saw him make that long run from the weak side of the floor to the strong side of that inner thirds. And, they really just clamped on him and allow Gonzalez, or Evangelista rather, to be the one to receive Gonzalez to be the one to receive the ball. He's not a threat from the outside, and so the next thing he will do is find a guard that would create.
About 13 seconds were chipped off of that possession by Gensan. They will apply pressure here. They're down by 5. When will they foul? Apinan almost loses it. Elorde, they're whistled. Coach Cholo Villanueva was waiting for that whistle to be blown.
That was definitely a late call.
And Elorde could not believe it.
I felt you knew it was late because it happened right in front of him, of the official. And so, in as much as they were waiting for that whistle, I think the other guys as well and on that bench were waiting for a foul to be called.
Now, clearly, Gensan was trying to go for the steal first. Take a look at what happened here. Importante gets it to Jexter Apinan. Ang dami ng contact before that.
Yeah, precisely. That first one was already, could have been a foul already called.
This is Jexter Apinan's first trip to the free throw line tonight. And he knocks down the first free throw. 65 to 59. 14.3 seconds remaining. Apinan goes 1 for 2. Importante gets the offensive rebound. And this is a part of the game where Batangas has come alive, but they turn it over. Liu goes quickly. And he will be fouled, but 5.8 seconds on the clock. This might not be enough time for a comeback for Gensan.
But just basketball smarts right there by Joel Liu. Understanding time and situation. Look at that. 7 turnovers for Gensan. Pero 22 turnovers ang na-force nitong Gensan sa Batangas. Nakakuha sila ng 26 doon.
And Coach, how is it possible that despite the 22 turnovers, Batangas still had control of this game?
Well, because Gensan missed 15 free throws. And that's really where it is. It's glaring right there. Another missed free throw.
Liu, I think, intended for that miss, although he misses on the second serving. And that is going to do it. Batangas winning a huge game against the Gensan Warriors, their rivals in the South.
A highly defensive game, if you ask me. Tactical at the latter part of the game, where everybody, both Coach Cholo and the Coach Elvis, were trying to figure out how to outsmart the other team. And what happens to this win by Batangas, in the event that they do get to tie at a certain number of wins for spot number 2 or anywhere in the top 4, it's Batangas that's going to take the higher seed than that of Gensan.
Well, with this win, they now tie Zamboanga at 17-8. But meanwhile, kilalanin muna natin ang ating best player of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Despite the 22 turnovers, Coach, this guy helped keep Batangas afloat the entire game.
You know what? It could have been more if they sped up the game, but they slowed it down to a grind and made it difficult for Gensan to get any good rhythm.
26 points for Levy Hernandez, the only guy in double figures for Batangas the entire game, Coach. 9 out of 18 from the field, 6 rebounds for Sniper de Mexico, helping them to the 65-60 victory. He's at courtside with Mika Besames.
Maraming salamat. Congratulations, Levy. Pag Gensan ang kalaban nyo, palaging masaya. Palaging ang ganda ng laban. Pero ikaw, sinigurado mo talaga yung dulo. Meron kang 9 points sa fourth quarter.
Ayun lang, ginawa ko lang naman yung trabaho ko eh. Kaya ready ko lang din yung sarili ko. Alam natin, Gensan, physical yan eh. So, yun nga, nag-focus lang ako. Kaya yun, buti execute namin na maayos.
Levy, ang isang magandang napansin namin lately, ang ganda ng tandem nyo, no? Ni Panya Mogan sa mga games. Mukhang komportable kayo ngayon sa isa't isa.
Yun nga, ginagawa din namin sa practice yan eh. So, sabi ko kay Philip, every time na mag-ano ka, kailangan mag-score ka din. Hindi lang ako, kailangan lahat tayo. So, yun lang. Buti nagbunga, nakakashoot din si Philip.
Maraming salamat. Meron ka mga gustong batiin at pasalamatan.
Pala, binabati ko yung misis ko nanonood. Si Sia, yung baby ko, si Kim nasa bahay, pati yung yaya niya, mama at papa ko, mga kapatid ko, Hernandez family, mga tito ko sa Santa Monica, sa Luis, sa Miranda family doon, and mga tropa ko sa Mexico, si Boss Rico, nandito, nanonood kayo, shoutout sa iyo. Lahat ng taga Batangas na pumunta pa dito, salamat sa suporta nyo.
Maraming salamat, Levy Hernandez. His best play of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Javi and Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mika. Congratulations once again to Sniper de Mexico and the rest of the Batangas City Tanduay Rum Masters for their win over Gensan. Up next, we have the San Juan Knights defending their home floor against the 13-10 Binyan Tatak Gel. Stay tuned for more MPBL action right here on the Martica Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.